The loss of his beloved wife had left Ivan Petrovich in a state of near constant anguish. The days dragged on without her, each one a gray, lifeless blur. He had been a successful businessman in his youth, but all of that now seemed meaningless. The world had lost its color. His once impressive estate now lay in ruins. The gardens were overgrown, and the paint was peeling from the walls. He had no desire to maintain it anymore. Without his wife, it was just a shell, a reminder of a life that had once been filled with joy. But Ivan's pain wasn't just emotional. He had always been a practical man, and his wife's illness had left him with a mountain of medical bills. The hospital had taken everything he had, leaving him with nothing but debt and a gaping hole in his heart. One evening, Ivan was sitting alone in the dimly lit living room, staring blankly at the wall. Suddenly he heard a strange noise coming from the attic. It was a soft scratching sound, like something was trying to get in. At first, Ivan dismissed it as his imagination. But the noise persisted, growing louder and more insistent with each passing minute. Eventually, he couldn't take it anymore. He made his way up the stairs to the attic, his heart pounding with fear. When he arrived, he found that the source of the noise was a small wooden box that had been hidden away in a corner. He didn't remember putting it there, but it was possible that his wife had stashed it away as a surprise. Ivan tried to open the box, but it was locked. He searched the attic for the key, but it was nowhere to be found. He even tried to force it open, but the box was solidly made and wouldn't budge. Despite his frustration, Ivan couldn't shake the feeling that the box was somehow important. He became obsessed with it, spending hours trying to find a way to open it. The scratching noise persisted, driving him deeper into madness. As the weeks passed, Ivan's obsession with the box only grew. He stopped eating, stopped sleeping, and stopped taking care of himself altogether. His once stately appearance now looked haggard and unkempt. Eventually, Ivan's friends became worried and paid him a visit. They found him sitting in the attic, surrounded by scattered papers and broken tools. His eyes were hollow and sunken, his clothes stained and torn. They begged him to come with them, to seek help and get his life back on track. But Ivan refused. He couldn't leave the box, not when he was so close to unlocking its secrets. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Ivan's obsession with the box consumed him entirely. He became a shadow of his former self, a mere husk of a man. And still, the scratching noise persisted. One day, Ivan's health took a turn for the worse. He collapsed in the attic, unable to move or speak. The doctors were called, but it was too late. Ivan had suffered a massive stroke and was pronounced dead. His friends were devastated, but also relieved that Ivan's suffering had come to an end. They set about clearing out the attic, hoping to find some closure for themselves. As they sorted through Ivan's belongings, they came across the box. It was still locked, but this time they found the key hidden in one of the broken tools. With a sense of trepidation, they opened the box. Inside, they found a letter from Ivan's wife. It explained that the box contained all of their life savings, a sum of money that Ivan had been too proud to touch. She had hidden it away to ensure that they would always have something to fall back on. The scratching noise, it turned out, was just a rat trying to make its way into the box. But for Ivan, it had become a symbol of his grief and despair. He had become so consumed by his obsession that he had lost sight of what was truly important. As Ivan's friends left the attic, they couldn't help but feel a sense of regret. If only they had known what was in the box, they could have saved Ivan from his own downfall. But it was too late now. Ivan was gone, and they were left with nothing but memories of a once great man who had been consumed by his own grief.